Hello, and welcome to another exciting installment, a live installment of Conquering My Collection. Now, I wanted to make this video for some reason, and I realized that making this as a filming it as a video would be a lot of work. Like, it's going to be long. There's no way this isn't going to be really fucking long. So I decided to just do it as a live stream instead. So there might be some questions I might answer along the way. I might interact a little bit with the people who are watching, but otherwise, this is kind of equal parts a I'm selling stuff video. So if you want to buy anything, then message me, that kind of thing. But also, again, equally, it's kind of just talking through some of the things I have, some of the things I might want to sell, why I want to sell them. And, part of conquering my collection, I realize now, is going to have to be about downsizing, because I just have too much stuff, and there's too many doubles. There's too many things that do I really need that, and spare copies and that kind of thing. And that's the difference. There's doubles, as in like I've double dipped, or there's spare copies, as in I just have two copies of one thing for one reason or another. So there's a lot that I need to shift. And I've kind of gone through my entire collection over the past month or two and just really picked out stuff that, like, am I really going to watch that? Or do I really need to keep this one? So we're going to go through, there's probably maybe a couple hundred here in this massive stack next to me on my desk. So I'm going to go through them, and there's all sorts of stuff in here. There's, just random generic titles like Poundland stuff, mainstream studio movies, and then there's Criterions. There's a couple of massive cinema, and just like random odds and ends and things I'm not sure about. So, as a rule, here at the beginning of this video, for anyone who's watching it after the fact, I'm not going to sell all of these, and I'm going to kind of go through some of my reasonings as we go through this. But yeah, so the best way to message me would be Twitter at RazorwireRyan. You can send me a direct message there. I'm pretty sure my DMs are open, as they say, and you can message me and we'll sort something out there, because there's no real private messaging system on YouTube anymore, and I don't use Facebook publicly or Instagram anymore. So Twitter is the best place, or leave me a comment if you want to contact me in another way. But yeah, prices to be determined. It really depends on what it is. No, in the realm of the senses, I've never bought that, nor do I intend to buy that. So that's not something that I need to sell. But there's all sorts of stuff in here. I just thought it'd be interesting to go through them and give you my reasons for selling or not selling them. The only problem is there's so many of them. I have to be like back and forth and kind of putting them down on the floor somewhere, I guess. So it's not going to be the most graceful of streams. Let's just dive in. There's no order at all. There's so many of them. So number one here, we have Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I have this with a slipcover, so this is one to sell, and this will be one of those ones that I'll sell very, very cheaply, still sealed. It's got the old label there, like this plays on PlayStation 3 consoles. This is one of the original Blu-rays. We have Before Midnight, which I actually got for Connie as a present, but now I have the Criterion collection box set, so it is what it is, and she's not too fussed either. I don't think. This was her least favorite of the trilogy anyway. I bought her all three of the films, and at the time it was 2 DVDs and then this one. This is a German Blu-ray, but it has the audio commentary and the special features, just not all the special features you get with the Criterion one. It's quite a good commentary on that one with the 2 stars and Richard Linklater. This one I've been umming and ahhing about for a long time. Still has the booklet. It is Bicycle Thieves, the Arrow Academy release. It's a very good film. I just don't know when I'd ever really realistically want to watch it again. I'm undecided on this one, and I think there's been a new restoration of it as well. So that's another one that'll be on the maybe pile, I suppose, but I'm not sure. Which, again, it seems like a bit of a redundant thing to show those in a video like this, but I'm kind of trying to guide you through my process a little bit of, and how difficult it is difficult as a collector to let go of things sometimes. And it's like, is this a reasonable reason to hold on to something in your collection? This one's definitely going. This is Mutiny on the Bounty. Phenomenal film. We've beaten the sea itself. This is a fantastic film with Charles Lawton and Clark Gable. And the other guy is also great, who plays Fletcher Christian. Franchot Tone. Brilliant, brilliant film. I already have it. This is one of those ones which I bought in one of the buy one, get one free HMV sales, forgetting that I already fucking had it. So this one will be sold and hopefully go to a good home because it's a fantastic film. This isn't even a movie, although I would say this was the best movie of 2020. But I guess people just aren't ready for that opinion, but their kids are going to love it. The Last of Us Part 2. This is the Steelbook Special Edition. I already have another one, a different style, and I wanted both of them, and it was really fucking stupid and a waste of money, but this is the Joel Steelbook. And I just think I love this game so much, but do I need this? Not really. Yeah, so Film Buster, I feel if there's a film you wouldn't revisit anytime soon, there's just no point. You can always add it back to it. It depends. It depends on the film, and it depends on the edition. Because there are things I have that I've bought that I've never watched, and it's been over 10 years, but I still know at some point I'm going to want to watch that. So it's tricky, and there's some things I just like owning at the same time. So yeah, I mean, it depends on like the edition, if it's going to go out print or whatever. This one is Spanish Blu-ray. I think it's from Spain, perhaps. Yes. So this is the Alfred Hitchcock film Downhill. Very, very good film. But I think this is included on the Criterion edition of the Lodger. So I'll get that at some point, and this will go to a good home, I hope. And these will all just be going on eBay, which is a ball ache in and of itself, I suppose. So you sold the majority of Blu-rays recently, either not planning to revisit or upgrade. Yeah, well, it's good to have a clear out, right? The problem I have is that it's so hard for me to get going with listing them, and and the more the bigger the stack gets, the more daunting of a task it seems to list things on eBay, which is partially why I'm making this video, in case anyone wants to buy any of these, so that they can just kind of cut out the middleman a little bit and just get the thing moving quicker. This one is a really nice Buster Keaton, the Navigator edition. But and I have quite a few of these where they're not really in great condition. So this one's like the frayed edges. Of course, the camera's not going to focus, but you get the kind of the worn edges of the tip of the slipcover there. But otherwise, I mean, it's a really nice Blu-ray of the Navigator. But then again, better restorations exist, or perhaps on the other Blu-rays out there in the world. But I have this twice, so this is one that will be sold. A few I can just rattle through. They're just, they are what they are. We've got Minions, and we have Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. And this will get trickier as I go along, because I got kind of neatly stacked these on the floor somehow. This is a big one. This is a fantastic edition. And it's, again, slightly worn around the edges, but otherwise in really good condition. Yojimbo and Sanjuro. The Criterion collection of the two classic Akira Kurosawa samurai films. Again, a little bit frayed towards the edges there. Not much, not as bad as the Navigator, but there's just a few dings. Oh, the bottom is kind of crushed a bit as well, which is unfortunate. We'll try and get the there you go. Just slightly. Yeah. Anyway. Well, actually, I already have Minions again, so that's why I'm selling that one. I have the 3D version, and honestly, this will sound really petty, but the only reason I have Minions in my collection is because Michael Keaton's in it, and he's my favorite actor, and I want to own every film he's ever done. And that's it. Not Kurosawa. Well, I already have this. This is a double. It's just yeah, I wouldn't sell this. It's on my shelf you will be able to see it. It's directly behind me on my Criterion shelf. We have The Guest. This is just a standard Blu-ray of it, and obviously now the 4K one's coming out. And this is where it's going to be difficult to sell these because certain collectors just will not be interested because it's not the new restoration. But regardless, The Guest. This one, this is like a disgusting purchase. This was just like a £1 land pickup just because it cost £1. Like, I really had no interest in this. And that shows you the real sickness of being a collector. You know what I mean? This is House of Cards Season 2, I think. You know, it's a nice digipack and all that stuff, but you know, really, who gives a shit? You know, I'll probably have to pay someone to take this off my hands, especially given the Kevin Spacey's current standing in the world. We have The Karate Kid, one of my favorite films. I now have the 4K collection, so hopefully this will go to a good home at some point. Fast and Furious 7. I think one of the best of the series. Phenomenal ending. I wish it had ended there. I have another version of this with a slipcover, so that one's going. We have Gilda, which is a phenomenal film, and I will get the Criterion at some point, so I thought that it would be time to move this on to a better home as well. And I think there's only one extra on this. Martin Scorsese and Baz Luhrmann, I guess, talking about the film. But yeah, this is a phenomenal film. Absolutely excellent. We have an American Blu-ray of American Hustle with a really nice, shiny, embossed golden title slipcover. Very good film. Really enjoyed it. But I bought a UK version because it was in Poundland, and you know, I don't tend to have my region-free player in the living room, so you know, as nice as the slipcover is and everything, I will be getting rid of that one as well. We have Independence Day Resurgence. I like this film. People go on about how shit it is. I had a good time with this in the cinema. I'm looking forward to seeing it again, maybe even soon. But I have another version with the slipcover, which tends to happen with some of these Poundland pickups. I wouldn't mind getting the 4K maybe at some point. Arrow Videos, The King of New York, or King of New York. Really didn't like this one. This is a real disappointment. The cast is amazing. Like, you got David Caruso, Lawrence Fishburne, Wesley Snipes, Steve Buscemi, and Christopher Walken. I just couldn't buy into any of it. I don't know. I know they did a 4K version of it recently. I just have no interest. It's just one of those things where you got to call it like it is. And I didn't really like the film. So it just is what it is. This one doesn't have a booklet. So King of New York, not quite for me. We have the 50th anniversary edition of Psycho. This is also an American Blu-ray. And again, with the 4K version out, who's going to want this? I do not know, but there you go. And that's the thing. Sometimes, you know, with Blu-rays and physical media, it's tricky because a new edition will come along and render the one you have completely obsolete. So by the time you want to sell it, there's no market for it, you know. You forgot that the sequel existed to Independence Day. Yeah, I went to see like a double bill in the cinema. They showed the first Independence Day and then the sequel at midnight, and that was a lot of fun. I really like this edition of 12 Monkeys, and I love the film. Like, I really love the film. This is a weird run of packaging that HMV was doing for a while. If there's like a title for it, if there's like a line or whatever, but basically you get like art cards on the inside and you can kind of switch them out and kind of change the artwork if you want. But I found that they don't really line up perfectly for the most part, so it was a good idea, but it doesn't see 12 Monkeys, it doesn't quite fit. So yeah, that's one that I don't know. And I feel like it's tough when I have things like this that aren't in the best condition, and I feel bad selling them, that someone might buy it and then go, oh, the thing's a bit, you know what I mean? So it's such a weird fucking psychological thing where I feel stressed out about selling stuff in case people are not happy with the condition that they're in. So I'm gonna have to be like super upfront when I list them, I suppose. Weird Science, really fun 80s film that hasn't aged the best. but I now have the Arrow Video version, so this studio release, which doesn't have that good of a transfer, will be leaving the collection as well. One of my all-time favorite movies, Kiki's Delivery Service. I already have 3 versions of this, including the exact same version in the same slipcover, so there's no point hanging on to it. So I have the big 30th anniversary box set on my shelf, which has this exact same thing inside it, so that one will be going, unfortunately. I say unfortunately, it's like I don't want to part with it, even though there's literally no reason for me to have it. This is an odd one. It's like, it's a steelbook of War for the Planet of the Apes, but it's dented. You know, it's fucking caved in on here. It's like the spine is all it's like it's in a state basically, but it has the movie, you know. So this I'd probably sell for a couple of quid or something if anyone really wanted it, but it's, you know, that's something I wouldn't feel right selling for more than a couple of pounds because it's in bad condition, you know. That's why I got another one. And this speaks to it again. This is a Criterion, Rosemary's Baby. Phenomenal film. I don't know if I'd ever want to watch it again. And I still feel a bit uncomfortable with the whole Polanski thing. It's a bit tricky. And there's no science to it, I suppose. But what bugs me about this, and it's really stupid, is that the inlay on this is all warped. So it's kind of like rumpled on the inside. You see that? So again, I feel like if I sold this to someone, this is out of print. This is an out of print. I know it's out of print. I know. But I would feel bad if I sold it and someone was like, "Oh, hang on, the inlay is all rumpled up," you know. So it's one of I know. But I would be willing to sell this for a decent price. But I couldn't go, you know, I couldn't be extortionate with it, even though it's out of print, because I don't think it's in perfect condition. But otherwise, and, you know, the booklet is a tiny bit. There's a little bit of scuffing on the side there. But yeah, I'm aware of its out of printness. But I don't know what to do with that. It's tricky when you're dealing with eBay and you don't know the person who's buying it and you don't have much of a dialogue. It's tricky. But this one I will be getting rid of for sure. This one, however, is in perfect condition and is also out of print, as far as I'm aware. It must be. This is the Masters of Cinema Steelbook of The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which is an incredible silent film from 1920, directed by Robert Wiener. And this has 2 discs. What is the documentary? Caligari, The Birth of Horror in the First World War. I think is that the one? No, it's not. Or is it? Hang on a minute. No, From Caligari to Hitler, German Cinema in the Ages of the Masses. That's the exclusive second disc that comes with this one. And this is a sealed steelbook. This one, I have another version of it. And this does have more extras, but I think I can live without that. This is the Diamond Luxe edition of Gone with the Wind. Do you remember when this got like taken off HBO Max or something, and suddenly everyone was trying to sell the film? I'm sure that's died down by now, but this is these are quite nice, the Diamond Luxe editions, but it's still sealed, and I don't love the film enough to have 2 versions of it. The Wolverine, have another copy of it. Very good film. This is a Norwegian release. Pretty standard. It has both the theatrical and unrated cuts. Expensive edition as well. Yes. Yeah, I know the documentaries on that release as well. Spaceballs, the 25th anniversary edition. The kids love this one. Have the 4K now, so I don't see much reason on holding on to this. And I think it's also in my Mel Brooks collection. So love this film, but don't need to have more than one version of it. The only, I think, DVD in this stack, which is it Saturn Tango? I don't know how you pronounce it. 3 discs, the whole film on DVD. I will be getting the Blu-ray at some point. Still haven't watched the film. It's a tricky one to sit down and get started on, but yeah, it's in perfect condition. I got this from FOP in Covent Garden a few years ago. There you go. That will be going to Southport. I really like this film. Got another version of it with a slipcover. Gets a bit of shit, but I thought that it was really, really good and was like a nice run of Jake Gyllenhaal doing really great performances, like 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. Some really great stuff. This one I'm still a maybe on, actually. I'm not sure. I saw this in the cinema and thought it was really powerful and affecting. You Were Never Really Here. And then Joker came out, and I felt like I want to go back and see this again because I feel like there's some similarities, and obviously Joaquin Phoenix in the lead role. So I bought this, watched it with Connie, and I thought, it wasn't quite as good as I remembered it, and I don't. It's a tricky one for me. There's great stuff in this film, but I'm still a bit uncertain. So this is another maybe one for me. Rise of the Foot Soldier, the Extreme Extended Edition Steelbook. It's another one that I just bought because it was a Steelbook and it was £1, you know, and it's kind of I just had to do it. I have no interest in like football hooligan movies, and that's what, as far as I'm concerned, that's what this is. A British gangster movie, maybe. I don't know if it actually has anything to do with football hooligans, so maybe I'm just being generic there, but yeah, the underworld of the Essex gangland. Yeah, okay, so more just a British gangster movie. I really don't enjoy those kinds of films, so I have no idea why I bought this, and so I will be selling it. This is like one of my first Blu-rays I ever bought, really, like right in the beginning of my collecting days. It's a Steelbook of the Blues Brothers. I now have the 4K version, so I thought I should probably let go of this one. And this has, I assume this has the extended cut, but I'm not sure on that. It's one of those awful printed back covers as well. But, you know, it's the Blues Brothers. It's a phenomenal film. We have Alita Battle Angel. Really nice slipcover. I have the 4K version now, so I'll be letting go of this one. Last Action Hero. I have this film many, many times over, so I really don't need this standard version when I already have the 4K. And we've done one stack, ladies and gentlemen. We've done 1 out of 6. How long has this been going for? 20 minutes. Okay, all right. Well, if I can just rattle through some more. This one is really out of print. This is the limited edition version of 10 Rillington Place with Richard Attenborough and John Hurt. The only issue with this one is the bottom of the case is cracked on the inside there. But otherwise, this is the original limited edition version with the booklet, which is out of print at the moment. So, yeah. Another example of something that was a bit damaged, so I bought it again. This is the Criterion Blu-ray of Roma by Alfonso Cuarón, and this one just has some, yeah, you know, again, it's just a bit ratty around the edges, you know. It's not in great condition, but, you know, the discs are perfect, and you got the booklet on the inside. It's a very nice release, this, but it's just not in tip-top condition. We have a very fun film from Mamoru Hosoda, Summer Wars. I have the collector's edition version of this one now, so I'll get rid of this standard one, which I think still has quite a few extras on it, so there's quite a few things on this disc. We have The Hunger Games Catching Fire. I forgot that I already had the steelbook of this, which I'll get to later on in this video. So this is I think it's a 2-disc edition, or maybe just perhaps a double play, so DVD and Blu-ray. There's a whole boatload of stuff on that. I decided to sell these because I'm probably just going to wait for like a big box set once the show is finished. But this is a very nice slipcover edition of the first season of Better Call Saul. I've just never put this on at all, never looked at any of the extras. I want to in theory, but I might just wait until everything's out in a big box set, because this is one of the best shows I've ever seen. But that's the first season of Better Call Saul. I think I have the second season in here somewhere. We have a Masters of Cinema edition in Variety. Variety, I don't know how you pronounce it. So this is a silent film from 1925, a German silent film. Still haven't watched this one, but this is a double that I have in my collection, so it's about time it goes to a good home. This is a limited edition version of the anime film HAL, which is a pretty interesting film. And I almost debate whether I should sell the other one. That I have two of these, and I almost debated selling like both of them. But I probably would watch it again. It's a very interesting story about this guy who, I won't go into it, but it's just like it's about kind of an artificial intelligence that's created to help someone move on, and it's a very very affecting story, but very anime-y. This is quite a nice special edition. This one is an Arrow Video title, Horror Express. I bought this while forgetting I already had it. So Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and what's his name? Terry Savalas. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it because I love train movies. That's like one of my big things. I'm unsure about this one. It's the Serenity Steelbook. This is from when Play.com 10 years ago now started doing these horizontal steelbooks, but the title is like debossed. It's a very nice effect on it. I do like the artwork, it is kind of a cool steelbook. So I'm unsure about this one, but I have Serenity elsewhere, so this is a maybe pile for me. Okay, so this is one. I'm not selling this one for sure, but I pulled it out and I thought, I bought this over 10 years ago now, and I haven't watched it once, have not felt the urge to watch it once. So should I keep it in my collection because of that? And it's the film In Time with Justin Timberlake, Amanda Seyfried. It's one of those things. I'm just like, am I ever going to watch this? And I think I will. I love the film in the cinema, but I remember hardly anything about it now, which is kind of fun to think about. It's like, will I enjoy it as much the next time around, even though I've forgotten most of what actually happens? But it is one of those things where I think, man, I've had it for 10 years and I've never watched it. Does that mean I should just, move it on? But it is one I will keep, and I do think that there's some value in that. There's some value in wanting to see something again. But there's also no time limit on that. I don't think that if your whole collection was like that, then yeah, maybe you got a bit of a problem, But I pulled it off and I thought, well, no, at one point I would like to revisit that. And oftentimes you don't know when that time is going to be or when you're going to feel like watching it until that time comes. And then you're like, well, shit, yeah, this is great. The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. I've only seen the first film in this series. This is like a meaty 2-disc set with boatloads of special features. But, maybe I'll try and get like a collection of the whole series, maybe. I'm not sure. I want to see it, but I haven't seen the first one since it came out like 16, 17 years ago or something like that. So I'll pass on that for the time being. Another Poundland one, Far from the Madding Crowd. I just don't know when I'd ever really realistically feel like popping this one in. So it's just one of those things. I'm sure it's a good movie. Similarly with this one, Magic in the Moonlight, Emma Stone and Colin Firth, Woody Allen. I have every intention of watching it in terms of like, I'd like to see it theoretically, but maybe not so much in reality. It's just one of those things. It's just like, when am I going to get to it? Similarly, we have quite a few now that I haven't seen, but I've decided to let go of my collection because it's just like, I don't feel like my life is going to be impacted positively or negatively by watching these films. And if I really want to watch them, I'm sure I can find them on streaming. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Again, with the this plays on a PlayStation 3 console and HD TV. Orphan. Actually, no. Nope. Yeah, I'm going to sell this one. I almost didn't because Vera Farmiga is in this, and I really like her as an actress. But again, I just don't know when I'd want to watch it. And if I do, then I'm sure it's on streaming somewhere. That cover is really unsettling. It looks like they've taken a picture of half of that girl's face and then just doubled it because it looks far too symmetrical and it's very disconcerting. Triple X. I'm sure it's an all right way to kill 2 hours and 4 minutes, but I'll gladly take those 2 hours and 4 minutes and not watch this. I think this is part of the sickness of Poundland in like 2018 when there was just so much shit. Dead in Tombstone. I look at it and I see Danny Trejo and Anthony Michael Hall and Mickey Rourke, and I think, wow, what a cast! And I just realized what kind of film this is. Like, it's just, it's the films that these actors make so that they can pay the bills. I'm sure I can do without it. The Company Men, this one, it's got a great cast: Ben Affleck, Chris Cooper, and Kevin Costner, Tommy Lee Jones. But the story of it just doesn't grab me that much. So it's just So Fleming says got a lot of double, triple dibbing. Yeah, that's there's a lot of that in here, I think, probably. And up to a point, I just start really like, is it worth it? That kind of thing, But yeah. So anyway, Company Man. Start a new stack now. Bridget Jones, The End of Reason. I really like Bridget Jones, the first film, but I haven't seen this one. I think this is the third one as well. So at some point, I'll probably watch all three of them on streaming somewhere. So that's another thing that's kind of come into play here, is whether or not I'd be able to just watch it on streaming somewhere. Wildcard with Jason Statham. I might just nick the black case for something else maybe, but yeah, I'm not really that fussed on watching that. In fact, I think I might have said when I bought that, I just got it for the black case. So, and then similarly with this one, The Devil's Double, I was really on the fence about keeping this one, because I remember when it came out in the cinema, I wanted to go see it. So I've always been intrigued, but the more I read about the synopsis on the back, I think probably not, but yeah. So this is a nice slipcover with like a lenticular thing, but I'll be getting rid of that one for sure. Okay, so here's a few things that I'm undecided on. I'm not entirely sure. So first here we have a really nice edition, but there's two things about it. Well, one thing about it really. We have Batman, the Diamond Luxe edition. I mean, this is a gorgeous thing. Like, it's super high, super glossy, but it attracts fingerprints and dust like a fucking magnet. But it's like, oh, I love that. That is such a cool fucking, you know what I mean? It's just fucking cool. But I get funny about things that like get all smudged and all that kind of thing. But like, it opens up like this. It's just cool as shit. Like, it's a cool as fuck edition. Of course, it's almost impossible to see it without glare because it's so fucking shiny. But yeah, I don't know about this one. And I have so many editions of this film, and it's one of my favorite films. But again, there's a few scratches on it now. So would anyone even want to buy it anyway? So I'll probably just hold on to that one just for the fucking sake of it, and just keep it in my Michael Keaton collection, like separate from the Batman films. I don't know. So probably not with that one, I guess. And this is like it's almost a sentimental thing for me, the Batman Anthology Box Set. Oh, you've never seen a slipcase that doesn't go to the full height of the case? I have quite a few of those. There's many of them. I think they only do that in the UK, but I can think of at least like 4 or 5 that I have. They're kind of like half. There's at least one more in here somewhere. So I'll show that to you in a second. So the Batman Anthology Box Set. It's one of the first box sets I bought. I loved working my way through this set, So it has kind of like a sentimental flavor to it, and I love the kind of the same artwork on each one with the 4 logos. I really like that. But I've now bought Batman and Batman Returns in 4K, and it has all the same extras as far as I'm aware. So I don't know about this one. This is another maybe, I suppose. But then again, when would I ever want to buy Batman Forever and Batman and Robin in 4K? So yeah, maybe not actually. I'm fine watching those two films in 1080p. This one I've already decided on. It's the Robocop Trilogy, which is a nice little slipcover edition. I do have the Arrow Video. That is a good point. I'll get to that in a second. The Arrow Video Robocop box set, not the 4K one that just came out, but the I like how it's like glossy here and then matte with his face. It's you can kind of see it on the camera there. It's a really nice effect. But yeah, I haven't seen the second one in forever, and I haven't seen the third one since I was a kid. I just remember a really overdramatic death, some black woman who like really dramatically dies or something, and then there's like a jetpack, and I was disappointed in it because it wasn't the same actor. But yeah, I'll be holding on to this one for the 2 sequels, which I'm sure are not going to get the gold standard treatment anytime soon. But yes, there was actually a good point in the comments here about the Batman 4K releases having changes. That's right. I think there was a few visual changes and a lot of audio changes. So yeah, okay. So I definitely will hold on to that. I think there's the sentimental value, but also when it comes to changes like that, I do like having the 2 versions, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll definitely be holding on to that. This one, I'm really, I don't need this, but I love it. I'm probably going to keep it. And so I'm talking about like how, and color timing on the Batman films as well. Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, there's I'm talking about how, like, do I need to own films multiple times? But there's some cases where I like, as a collector, having these different cool artwork pieces. So this is the Blade Runner 2049 Steelbook. I just love this. I absolutely love the design on this. It's really, really cool. I don't like this trend of the back just being a zoomed in section of the front cover. I think that's really cheap and lazy. But I love that. I can't let go of that, you know, because I have the 4K box set, like a really nice 4K edition of this. But I'm just gonna have to hold on to it. I really like it. I really like it. I like it too much. Terminator Dark Fate. I love this film. I think it's fantastic. It's the best we're going to get to a Terminator 3. Still doesn't need to exist, but I'll take it. I think it's a really, really good film, and it has a really nice slipcover. But I'll probably want to get it in 4K at some point. So I'm undecided on this one. And there's a few of these going on with this stack. Similarly with Alien Covenant, it's a nice slipcover with some subtle embossing there. And I love Alien Covenant. It's a fantastic film. Well, maybe not a fantastic film, but I really enjoyed it. It's a very good film. So it's a very effective gothic horror film, I think, Alien Covenant. But I do want to get the 4K at some point. So it's undecided. And then similarly, I think I will keep this one because I don't think the 4K of this film carries over all the special features. In fact, I'm almost 100% sure it doesn't. This is the 3D Prometheus Collector's Edition with I think it's a 4-hour documentary, The Furious Gods Making of Prometheus. So I want to keep all the extras for this. A real nice slipcover too. So this one will be staying for sure. Whereas Alien Covenant, there's no such special feature to be found. They really skimped on that one. And this might be similar to the Batman one. This is the Spider-Man. You can tell how old this is as a Blu-ray. It's called Spider-Man, the High Definition Trilogy. So this is a pretty packed. I think there's 2 discs on at least 2 of them, maybe. I'm not sure actually. It feels really weighty, so I'm not sure if there's like DVDs on the inside as well. I can't really get these out because they're so packed in. I know Spider-Man has 2 discs. Yes. Spider-Man 2? No, okay, but Spider-Man 2 does have the Spider-Man 2.1, but I'm pretty sure I have all of these in 4K now. I'm pretty sure they carry over all the special features, and if so, I might part with it because otherwise there's no need for it, is it? That'll be maybe. This one I don't think I'll sell, but I wanted to point it out because it's I really like this edition. It's the Back to the Future trilogy. And I got the 4K box set, and the 4K box set is just it's not very nice. Like this one's got a really nice shimmery front cover, and when you open it up, it's like a really nice design on the inside. But the 4K box set just felt really uninspired to me in terms of like the artwork, and this one's just really cool. I love the fold out of the DeLorean. It's really, really nice. So I was considering just putting the 4K discs inside this, but it doesn't match up in terms of the number of discs, I think. So this is one I'll just hold on to just because I really like the edition and I really love the film. So I'll be holding on to that. But I am actively trying to like assess everything. Do I need to keep this? Do I need to keep that? Oh, wow. Blade Runner 2049 is your favorite movie. Got a collection within your collection, about 16 versions. Wow. Well, I understand that. If it's your favorite film, I kind of I understand. Yeah. Apparently okay, so the Indiana Jones 4K films have audio changes as well. Similarly, again, we have Cinema Paradiso 25th anniversary edition. I really like the packaging of this because it's like a fold-out digipack. Excuse me. And like the booklet is like a ticket stub design on it. You know, it's like a nice it's a nice release. But I did just get the 4K version, so I'm just thinking, do I really need to hold on to this one? It's not one of my favorite films ever, but I do have the 4K version. I have checked, and all the extras are the same, so I think I might just get this one off to a new home, perhaps, because I don't need it when I've got the 4K. But then again, maybe I need to research and see if there's any changes to that film. Probably not, but you know, so that's a maybe. And the 4K can go elsewhere. Okay, that just fell on the floor and exploded everywhere. The joys of going live on YouTube. Right, so that was the DVD, I think. Yes. So this I recently upgraded with the 88 Films version. So I won't be needing this. It's a nice little case, but there's nothing. There's actually even a few interviews on here. So yeah, see, I keep second guessing myself. So I really need to keep this one. But this is Armor of God, the Jackie Chan film. And it's not one of my favorites either. So I think I will sell that one. Because I have the 88 Films box set, which is really, really nice. Similarly, again, upgraded to the 88 Films version. This is Operation Condor. This is one of the best Jackie Chan films, in my opinion. I absolutely love this film. So I'm selling it. No, but the 88 Films version is much superior. Man, there's just too fucking much to get through here. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to put this stream up, you know, go to bed, and then be like, I'm going to wake up with lots of offers from people who want to buy some of these, and there'll be nothing. Which is why I think the only reason I am doing it is that I feel like it's an interesting part of the collecting process, right? Is the umming and ahhing about whether you should sell certain things and the second guessing and all of that. See, here's a perfect. Actually, no, I'll keep that aside because there's quite a few. I have many editions of this one film. So speaking of the half slipcovers, or the slipcovers that don't go all the way up to the top, we have Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is in my top 10 favorite films of all time. I love this film dearly. And I will be selling it, even though it has this nice slipcover, you know, and part of me is like, I should keep it. But then why? Why would I keep it when I already have it? You know, so this is the kind of standard release with the weird slipcover. And it's painful because I really like this artwork. I'm a mental case. I'm already having. It felt bad to put that on the sell pile, you know, because I really like that artwork. But I already have this gorgeous edition. This is just one of the best steelbooks, one of the best editions I have. It's just such a gorgeous steelbook. I love it, and there's loads of great stuff on the inside too. So I don't need the standard version. I really don't. Why am I holding on to it? And then I'm thinking like, well, it's good to have a spare copy. It's just keeping it for the fucking artwork. It's just keeping it for that stupid grid artwork that reminds me of when the film first came out and I saw the poster, you know? I'm keeping it. All right, fine. Fuck it. I mean, who was going to buy this for more than a couple of quid anyway, right? So, all right. We all go crazy sometimes. Well, more than some of the time. This is one I would like to keep, but I already have another steelbook of it and the 4K version, and it's Total Recall. Fuck, but then again, that's tricky. Yeah, that's the thing. So you're saying like you have a tough time setting up sales and dealing with all that stuff. It's similar to me. It really is similar to me. The question is, will you ever watch that version or not? Probably not, right? But then it's like, okay, so is this a functional part of my physical collection, or is it just a part of my film memorabilia collection? Not that I have a huge one, but like, as part of the collection. And that's the tricky thing, I see there's this guy on YouTube, right? Who I forget what it's called. He calls his collection like the something Smithsonian Museum or something ridiculous like that. And his collection is massive. It's unbelievable. But he like will just buy the same films over, and it's not like a few of his favorite films. It's just like these ridiculous like box sets where it's like some Korean produced steelbook of a 4K release, and it's like 4 different covers, so it's like 4 different versions of the same disc inside the same box set, and it's just a mental side of collecting. So at least I'm not that bad. Like that's that's one thing. But anyway, here's Total Recall. But the thing is, with the 4K Total Recall, the compression's really bad. Like the authoring on the 4K disc gets really bad at times. Like they really fucked up the bit rate. So maybe I should hold on to the original Blu-ray. I don't know. I might hold on to this one again. It's really fucking tricky. Hate this shit. I really do. What's the most expensive movie you bought for your collection? Well, that's fairly on topic, I suppose. Probably the Ingmar Bergman cinema collection. I'll put it in the maybe for now. I don't know if you can see it from here. Nope, it's on the bottom shelf. So it's like the big Criterion box set with 38 odd films. I think that was about 160, 70 pounds or something like that. Maybe it might have been the Agnes Varda collection, which was similar, like maybe 170 pounds or something like that. But then you do say what's the most expensive movie, so maybe you meant single movie. So I'd have to think about that one. We have Ran, the masterpiece from Akira Kurosawa. I think at some point I'm going to get the 4K version of this. So I'd have to kind of look into the transfer, I suppose. But I've never been that. I mean, I have the original version somewhere in this stack actually, and people said the transfer is terrible. I mean, you can still, it was fine to me. But then I'd have to double check the extras on this with the 4K and kind of do a comparison. So that'd be a maybe to be researched at a later date. The 4K is lacking quite a bit of extras that were on earlier DVDs. Do you mean Total Recall? The Shohei Imamura and Lake Mizoguchi. Yes, I don't have the Imamura box set, unfortunately. I would really like that, but it didn't happen. Total Recall. Okay, yeah, then I'll definitely hold on to that. No, the Lake Mizoguchi set I got for Christmas. It was a Christmas present, not long after it went out of print, so I was extremely lucky with that one. This one will be hard to let go of, but I will sell it. It's the Deer Hunter. I just love this. It's a really nice digibook edition, and I got this imported from Finland. It's a Finnish edition, but I have the 4K box set now. So as much as I love this, it's a really nice edition. I think I will have to let go of that one, and I'm already second guessing it. I'm really bad at this. I'm really, really bad at this, but I will have to say goodbye to that one. Okay, so this, I have like another one somewhere, but this is like 3 of the versions I own. I don't know what the fuck to do with this. I really don't. So one of my favorite films, Terminator 2. We have the Skynet edition, Steelbook. It's quite a nice Steelbook, nothing spectacular. But there are different versions of this. So the best one to get is the 2015, I think, Lionsgate American Blu-ray of this, which I have. And that's the one that is like the one I'll watch. And I think it has all the extras, or at least most of them. But I like the Steelbook, And that's not the only thing I have. I have the 2019, I think, new transfer, which isn't great. But it does have an hour-long documentary, which I really like. So I'll keep it for that reason. So now I have 3 versions of Terminator, and then I have the 4th one, which is this. This is a really rare Blu-ray. This is, you can only find it in Scandinavia, I think. It's part of the Real Heroes collection that came out in the UK about 10 years ago, but it wasn't in the UK. It only came out in Scandinavia, as far as I'm aware. They might have done an American steelbook of this. I know in America they did these as steelbooks. But again, I know part of me needs this. I'm never going to watch this edition, but it's a cool fucking cover, you know? And it's just, it's tricky. But there's also a little bit of sentimentality behind this one as well. So I'm just going to have multiple versions of Terminator 2, I guess. Just is what it is. We had those Blu-rays in the bargain bins. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. They were kind of, it was cheap when I got it. Bought that in Norway in 2013 for about 50 krona, I think. Okay, well, you could probably call the Mizuguchi set the most expensive part of my collection in terms of how much it's worth, for sure. But yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree. James says most normal studio Blu-rays are pretty worthless on eBay. A lot of work for very little return. That's also a tricky thing about this. Well, I understand about Arrow re-releasing the same things with a 4K disc, but it stands to reason now that they've gone 4K that they would lean on those 4K restorations that are there to be used. So I understand that, but I think I'm glad because I can hopefully now grab the American Werewolf set. Yes, most versions of Terminator 2 they're not blurry, but the DNR is very evident. But it's, you know, you can live with it. But the Lionsgate Blu-ray, which I have it down there? I don't know where it is. The Lionsgate Blu-ray looks pretty good, I have to say. And what's really fucking funny, actually, and I've talked about this before, is on the new version, which is like really smoothed over. When you watch the special edition version, it ticks over to like the new scenes, and they haven't given those scenes the same restoration. So you're watching this, and everything looks like a fucking Pixar movie. It's all smoothed out and no grain anywhere. And then you get the scene with Michael Biehn in the hospital, and it's like, oh, film grain. It exists. It's like it just doesn't look good mixed together. Yeah. Anyway, right. This one, again, I bought it 10 years ago. Have never watched it. This is the French special edition of Dread. I love Dread, and I've never watched it since it came out in the cinema. But this is really cool. But it's just very unwieldy and cumbersome. There's no spine on it, you know. So it's a nice release, but I'm just not sure whether I want to just get something a bit more shelf friendly. I don't know. So I might keep this one. It's just, you know, it's one of those things. Into the maybe pile. While We're Young, this is a pretty good comedy, but I don't think I need to own it, you know. It's just one of those things. I'm not entirely sure on that one. In fact, I'll put it in the sale pile. JS says I'm reorganizing my collection right now, stacks all over, thinking of sorting by studio but not sure. It is DVD size, yeah. It's taller than Blu-ray, but yeah, I'm unsure about that one. It's in the maybe pile. And similarly, there's a few things mixed up here. I have the Canadian Batman Steelbook. I'm not sure whether to part with it or not. I need to let go at least one of my Batman copies because I don't need so many of them, you know. And I think maybe this is the one to go. This one I pulled out because I thought I don't need it because I have the 4K Steelbook now. But I cannot let go of this because it's one of my favorite Steelbooks. Like the embossing is lovely. The fact that it's like, you know, the big ticket for 93, and then like you got the poster on the back. So that I can't part with that one because it's one of my all-time favorite films. This one I have the premium collection version of. It's an amazing film. I only just watched for the first time maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. This is the American digibook. It's a little bit frayed around the edges. It's not in perfect condition, but it's a nice little release. But I don't need 2 versions of it, so this should hopefully go to a good home. I considered this one. It's The Sting. It's one of the Universal 100th anniversary digibooks, but this is such a nice edition. I don't think I could ever part with it, even though I want to get the 4K at some point. And I might buy the 4K like in a few years when it gets really cheap and just throw the disc into this one. I've done that a few times. I've kind of Frankensteined a few different releases with the 4K discs, and this one would be easy to pull off, I think. So I'll be holding on to that one. I don't know how many films I currently own. I don't really keep track of that, nor is it something that I would put any pride in. Like, oh, I have this many, you know. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe 1,500, a complete guess. I don't know, maybe a bit more than that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I haven't seen the Female Prisoner Scorpion movies. You like the consistency by studio? Yeah, no, I can see that. I have a few things. My collection isn't really fully organized still. After I moved everything down to my office down here, and now my office used to be upstairs. Now it's downstairs. So I still haven't fully reorganized everything like 6 or 7 months later. So most stuff I do like to put the studios, one of the studios, like the labels, like Arrow Video and stuff, and keep them together for the most part. Lawless, I considered selling. This is a really cool steelbook with all the bullet holes in it. And I would like to see this again, because I didn't know who Jessica Chastain was when I first saw this. And I'm kind of keen to revisit Tom Hardy's unique mannerisms in this film. I think me and Connie found a lot of humor in how, like, he was always like, I can't even describe it, it's been so long, but he would make little like just very odd performance by Tom Hardy in this film. And a really stacked cast. Gary Oldman, Tom Hardy, Shia LaBeouf, Jason Clarke, Guy Pearce, Jessica Chastain. So I'll be holding on to that one. Rampart, very good film. Don't think I'd ever want to watch it again. So nice steelbook, but that one's definitely going. Oh, this one is tricky. You know, I really like this steelbook. I think it's a phenomenal design to it. It's Parasite. You know, it's can't tell that much with the glare, but you know, you can flip it upside down. It's kind of a cool. I think the back cover is the same. No, the back cover is flipped. There we go. It's a very nice steelbook. It has the black and white version, but there's now been like a 4K release. There's been a Criterion release. So this will be a maybe for me, because I haven't watched it since I bought it. You know, I've seen the film, but unsure on that one. These ones I talked to Connie about. So this is the Fast and the Furious 5 steelbook, which is a nice little steelbook, but there's some chips on it and stuff. It's not in good condition. But I did buy this for Connie, and I just, you know, there's kind of a sentimental thing about that, because she loved those films when we first got together, and I also bought her the full collection at the time, which is 5 movies. And I was talking to her about it, saying, like, you know, should we just get, like, once all the films are done, should we just get a big box set or something? But I don't know. It's when you bought something for someone, or someone has bought something for you. For me, I'm very like, it must be a weird psychological defect within me, because I get really attached to things based on how I got them, I suppose. Like if my mum bought me something, I get really attached to it, because it's a very strange thing. It's like I place so much importance on the fact that someone wanted to buy something for me, and it's really weird. I know, it's like almost like a hypersensitivity thing. I don't know. It shouldn't be that much of a bother, but it kind of, you know, it makes me go, no, I couldn't sell that. So I initially pulled off that 5 film box set with, oh, I bought it for Connie, you know, and she likes those films. We have again Ron, and I love, and I'll probably hold on to this one because I just love the cover so much. And I'm not sure. I think all the extras are carried over on the other Studio Canal releases, but the transfer of this isn't that great. But you know, it's just sometimes you just got to hold on to something because it's really fucking cool, and I really like this one. This one will be going. This is An American Werewolf in London. I do want to get the new 4K of this. It's a nice steelbook, and it's loaded with special features. I really like it a lot, but it's not a film I need to own twice. And I'm pretty sure that the 4K transfer on the Arrow Blu-ray is probably very, very good. You remember not loving Lawless. Yeah, I really liked it. It was a good film. Didn't like love it, you know. Do you think the Studio Ghibli movies will release on 4K? And do you think the upgrade will be worth it? It depends. Well, with the Ghibli movies, it would be because they were, you know, it's on film. I'm not sure about TV shows. So I don't know what the process is, but certainly for the Ghibli films, there would be a noticeable. If it was done correctly, there would be a noticeable upgrade in 4K. Do you think having Warner, Universal, and MGM all separately would be insane? I'm starting to think it's a fool's errand. A little bit. I kind of see the logic, but I think for boutique labels like Arrow Video and Criterion, I get it because it's like a collection. Studios releases, they're not really a collection, so I wouldn't do it personally. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's just repeating the same thing. It is a great steelbook, the Parasite one, but I think I will sell that one actually because at some point I'd like to get the 4K of that, or maybe just the Criterion. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah. Do you collect wrestling DVDs? I don't. I used to. That's how this channel started. Some 11 years ago. I started as a wrestling DVD channel, but I don't collect them anymore. This one I bought from a charity shop, and I really wanted to like it more than I did. I don't even remember Gerard Depardieu being in this, but it's Let the Sunshine In with Juliette Binoche. This is actually, I believe, the first ever Conquering My Collection video was a review of this film. It was all right, just not for me. So I will definitely be selling that one. That one's been on the cards to be sold for a long time. Oh, here we go. Here's the Lionsgate version of Terminator 2. This is the one to get. I swapped it out for a clear case, but this is the one to get for Terminator 2. It's not perfect, but there's the most grain on it. There's the least amount of digital tinkering in it. So this is the one to get for Terminator 2 for anyone who is wondering. I think does it say on the back here? Yeah, Lionsgate 2015 American Blu-ray. That's the cover. I'm uncertain on this one. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I need to research a bit more about the extras. I'm not sure if all the extras are carried over on the 4K releases of these films, so that's a maybe. It flew out of my hands as if ghosts were involved somehow. Let me just put that back. And again, similarly, I might just hold on to this as a collector's piece. Not that it's particularly, a prized piece that people even know about, but it's the same version of the Real Heroes collection with Total Recall. I just love the artwork. I really fucking love that artwork with the fucking pyramid. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And I love the, I can't get rid of it. And I definitely put a lot of things in here that I knew I wasn't going to sell just to show you like the insanity of, you know what I mean? Trying to hold on to these things. These two are really difficult. And both for the same reason. So I have the Arrow Video Battle Royale, the white window box edition. And I have the Dawn of the Dead Arrow Video white window box edition. At one point, these were quite valuable. I don't know if they still are, but it's really cool because you can change the artwork in a much better fashion than that 12 Monkeys edition I showed you earlier. And it's just, but these are like stacked editions, but I have the, you're relating very hard to the insanity right now. I know, tell me about it. So I have the big second sight 4K box set of this, like definitive. So I do not need this. I also have the Arrow Video 4K box set of this, which is the definitive version. I don't need this. And I could get money for them. That's the thing. But there's just the kind of like, it reminds me of a happy time when I first started collecting. And these two were like £9 on Amazon. And I just loved them when I bought them, when they came in. I still managed to keep them in like perfect condition. And it's a sentimental thing for me. So I don't think I'm going to sell them, even though they have no practical use whatsoever. This is one that by all rights I should get rid of, The Outsiders. I was a little bit disappointed in this film because the cast is so great and it gets a lot of talk. And I watched it and I enjoyed it, but not as much as I was hoping. I'm keen to revisit it actually, and there's a 4K release that just came out. And apparently, like, this is the complete novel version, and there's a different theatrical version that has different music. So I'd like to see that. So once I get the 4K, there's no need to hold on to this. But I will always hold on to this because my very good friend Chris over at CM42 TV bought this for me as a gift. So that's one of those things where I absolutely would never get rid of that. Just for the sentimental value. The window editions are really fun. Yeah, they are. Any Arrow Video movies you would recommend, and what films you like to add? Yeah, I won't go into that question right now just to get through this, but that is a good question. But I mean, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. I mean, I would recommend The Burbs in terms of Arrow Video, which isn't their usual kind of fare, but The Burbs is one of my all-time favorite films, and their release of it is fucking incredible. Yeah, it's quite. I'm looking at all my Arrow Video titles now. I do love the Phenomena box set, the original one, and I do love that film as well. The Candyman was a great one. The transfer is fantastic on that. That's a great release. There's a bunch. There's a bunch. Yeah. Karate Kid 4K. I have the. Can you see it on the shelf? Just above my head, you see Daniel LaRusso's little head there. I have the new 4K box set, so I don't need this one, especially considering it comes with a slipcover of this exact same art. I think it is actually. Let me just check. Maybe it's slightly different. I don't know. I'm not sure. And that could be like, tricky with the differences of, not studios, but like countries and all that kind of thing. So let's take out the first one. Yeah, it's like identical, literally identical. Only this one has a matte finish, so it's a lot nicer. So yeah, so I'll be getting rid of this one, which is one of my all-time favorite films, but I don't need it. So that's the 4K one. It will be sold. Let's put that back in and pop it back on the shelf. 2 seconds. The Monuments Men. Never got around to watching it, but I have started getting into my World War II stuff recently. So since I've added this to the stack, I think I'm going to keep it and watch it. Though I might have deleted it from my watch list, so I need to re-add it if that's the case. They removed the soundtrack from the new Phenomena 4K box. Well, that's the trouble sometimes, isn't it? Because they'll re-release something, but they won't port over everything, which is unfortunate sometimes. Well, that is the thing. Sometimes if you don't want to sell something that you wouldn't be able to get back again, so that you have to kind of consider that too. Caligula, yeah, I wouldn't be too fussed about, but at the same time, completism, I fully understand and relate to that. Yeah. This one, again, it's just fucking tough with the sentimentalism, honestly. Jesus Christ. We have The Dark Knight Rises. I love this digibook. I really do. And the spine looks really fucking cool. And the back is nice. There's like a nice kind of glossy. The trouble with this is when it came out, it was one of my all-time. It went straight into my top 5 favorite films of all time. I still love it. It was on TV the other night, and I couldn't help but watch the last 45 minutes. I think the last 3 minutes of this film are just phenomenal. Like, what a way to end a story and a series and a trilogy. So when this came out, my mum got me the Steelbook, so I could never sell that. My stepmom and dad got me the Broken Cowl set, which is just too cool of a set to sell for me. And then I bought this fucking expensive digibook from America because I just love the look of it, and I wanted to collect multiple editions of this. But do I really want to hold on to multiple editions of it right now? I do not know. So this is a maybe for me, but it's just tricky. It's just tricky. Tricky. This one I'm definitely gonna. It's a really nice steelbook. It is Rebels Season 1 Star Wars. Very nice. But I've never watched it. you know, and it's all on Disney Plus now anyway. You know, it has the extras, which I'm sure are not on Disney Plus, but I've just never watched it. I did start watching the series. I was downloading the episodes for a while, but I've never been able to get into them. So it's just one of those things of someone else would enjoy that more than I do. It's just literally in my collection to be in my collection, you know. Here we go again. We've got Better Call Saul season 2. A nice slipcover. Another edition of Better Saul Call, season 1. I was going to sell this to Catch a Thief, but I've since found out that the brand new transfer that I got on the premium collection version, the HMV premium collection version of this, is like out of focus or something. Like there's like a defect with the transfer, and it is part of the Paramount Presents line, I think. And so apparently this, even though it's an older transfer, kind of looks better than the new one because the new one was authored incorrectly or something like that. So this I'll hold on to just to kind of do my due diligence and research it properly, because I'm not sure whether I should just hold on to that one or not. And then it's like we'll just swap the discs out. But then it's like then you're gypping someone if you're selling them something with the wrong disc, and I wouldn't do that to someone. The Purge. I like this film. Mainly because of Ethan Hawke, who I'm a big fan of. But I just see, and there we go. Now that I've mentioned that, I think, oh, I should keep it for the Ethan Hawke collection. You know, these are films that are very easy to stream. It'll be sold. I'll sell it. Argo. And it's an extended cut. I don't think I've seen the extended cut. I'm probably going to hold on to this one, but it's just one of the ones I bought, and I can't see myself. It's been, what, 10 years since it came out. I couldn't see myself watching it in the next 10. It's a really good film, but it's not, it just doesn't grab me in the way that I really want to, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. Oh, we've got 2 stacks left. Thank God we're getting close. I thought this would take like 3 hours, so I'm glad that it's zipping along a little bit here. The Woman in Black, Daniel Radcliffe. Saw it in the cinema, quite liked it. Not entirely sure why I bought it. Lots of special features on this one, but yeah, this one will be going. Yeah, Ethan Hawke was in the original Purge. I do like the Purge movies. They're good fun, but not much more than that, I don't find. Here we have Song of the Sea, which is a beautiful film. And you recently rewatched Argo and Parted Ways with it. That's fair enough. I almost want to keep this because the artwork is so beautiful. You know, I really love that artwork. But I just bought the Irish Folklore Trilogy, which I have a spare copy of. Actually, I'm selling that, so maybe I should show that while I'm here and on the same topic, because it is a beautiful release, absolutely stunning box set. So I'll be selling this one. It is brand new and sealed. So you get The Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, and Wolfwalkers. Absolutely stunning box set. I really, really love this. But yeah, so part of me is like, but the artwork, you know. But no, this is one that I have in the box set now. This is another weird one. This is another unwieldy, like oversized kind of thing, and it's the Watchman Dr. Manhattan head. It's kind of cool in a way. The discs are in the back of his head, kind of thing. But like, and I like the spine. The spine's kind of cool in a way, but it's also kind of creepy, you know. I'm not entirely sure. Keeping a film for go hand in hand. You're gonna have to be a bit more English language specific than that, CP. I can't understand. Keeping a film for the artwork. See, I'm a genius. I figured out that SRTAORK meant artwork. Yeah, there we go. Keeping a film for the artwork. Yeah, I know. Yeah, make all the jokes you want. But I will be selling that. It's tricky. It is fucking tricky. But don't compare. No. Don't compare me to that. I haven't seen the Watchmen TV series, but yeah, this one, and that's another problem. I'm a broken fucking record here, but I've had this for 10 years, and so there are like just random smudges that have happened along the way, you know, and it's just like don't know what the fuck to do with that one. This one, these dust just accrues everywhere, doesn't it? Force Awakens. It's a really flimsy edition that I got, and I really wanted it, and I got it imported from America. But I like the design of it and everything. It's kind of a cool thing, but I don't know. And then one of the disc holders is like kind of a bit fucked as well. So who's gonna buy it? You know? And that is the ongoing struggle of selling things is like because I can't just like be ruthless and just say like, yep, there we go, and just send it off, and then just like I don't know. These two are definitely going. We have David Lynch's Dune. I now have the Arrow Video version of that. The Sleeper Has Awoken, etc. Oh, I'm not sure about this actually. It is Blue Velvet. It's a 2-disc edition. I'm not sure. I think actually it has extras that aren't on the Criterion, so I'll probably keep. Yeah, I will be keeping hold of this one because I think there's like a really long interview with Dennis Hopper on the second disc of this, which isn't on the Criterion, so I'll be holding on to it for that reason. We have Batman Assault on Arkham, French Steelbook. I just don't feel the need to return to that one. And there was a point where I just loved collecting all things Batman, and I've kind of progressed beyond that. Not that anyone who collects Batman stuff has regressed, but you know, for me, it's just not. It's not that big of a love in my life anymore. These I'll have to be super upfront about to anyone who wants to buy them. Perhaps we have Spanish Blu-rays of Buster Keaton's The Cameraman and Spite Marriage, but these are bootlegs. They're just standard definition transfers of the films, which are fine. I watched them and enjoyed them both very much, but they are fake Blu-rays, which I didn't know at the time when I bought them. So these I'd sell fairly cheaply for maybe a couple of quid a pop or something like that, and just be completely upfront that they're just standard definition transfers. You know, what's the word? I can't think of a word to jam into that sentence. They've been unfairly and untruly authored onto Blu-ray disc. A couple more Batman things. We have Batman versus Robin. I think this is it an American Blu-ray? I'm not sure. I actually don't know. I should research this. It might be a French one. Yeah, it's a French Blu-ray. Batman versus Robin, and then the UK version of Son of Batman. I wouldn't call myself a gamer. I play Fortnite pretty much religiously, but I still wouldn't call myself a gamer per se. Yeah. What's the least you take? I said 100. He counted with how about 50? Yeah, I've had a few lowball offers on certain things, and I just don't even reply to them. Like especially when it's already been established, I'm looking for a certain price. It's like, okay, how about all 10 of them for whatever? And I'm just like, no, I'm good. This is a unique circumstance. This is Jackie Brown. But you want to talk weird? You want to talk really fucking weird, right? Listen to this. I had this in a French Steelbook, and last year I tried to watch it, and the Blu-ray was dead. The disc was just not working. So here, this is the disc itself, the French one. So I rebought the film. This one right here. This is the case that it came in. I took the working Blu-ray and I put it into my French Steelbook. All done. Now what do I do with this cover and this dead disc? Throw it in the bin, right? But I like this because the case feels nice. Like it's really nice and smooth and like pleasing to hold. Fucking mental is that? Like what do I do with this? Do I put it on a shelf? Like what? Why? Like I can't sell it to anyone. I don't know what the fuck to do with it. And then there's this weird voice in my head that's just like, oh, but it's a nice poster. So, like, anyway, Independence Day, one of my favorite films. Love this, but I will be getting the 4K. So, yeah, that one's going to be sold. Well, it's not even just sturdy; it's like sturdy and smooth. Like it doesn't. Most Amore cases, there's like a bit of, I don't know, there's a bit of rough around the edges. I don't know, but that one's just like, it's like as smooth as a baby's bottom, and I just really like. I don't know, it's weird. I'm gonna stop talking. I should sell this. It's Gold the Dragon Tattoo, the theatrical version. I have the box set of the TV cuts, and I'm just holding on to it in case I want to compare the cuts. I know I'm never going to compare the cuts, so I'm just going to sell it and just there's always this like far off, like I'd like to do this at some point, or I'd like to watch this at some point, and it just keep the case and toss the contents. Yeah, I'll probably will do that, I suppose, but it's it's just weird. I'm surprised that some of you even relate to this. PlayStation, not Xbox. I won't be taking this to the pawn shop, or the UK equivalent would be CEX. You'd get such a pittance for them. I don't know. And that's the other kind of quandary with this is, as someone said earlier, a lot of those studio titles, you're not going to get much for them at all on eBay. And it's almost more of a hassle to sell them than anything else. So you kind of, you're fucked one way or the other. Warm Bodies. I like this, but I've never opened it, and I'm never gonna. It was all right. Exodus, Gods and Kings. I like Ridley Scott. This was an okay film, but I will be keeping this because there is a big documentary on it called Keepers of the Covenant. I'll probably watch that at some point. I probably won't ever watch it, but the intent to watch it is there. And again, it's one of those films that probably wouldn't, no one would buy it for more than £1 anyway. So what's the point? eBay or Facebook groups? It'll be eBay for sure. Yeah, or on the off chance anyone who's watching this stream or the replay of it will message me and make me an offer, and we'll sort something out privately. But yeah, the Facebook groups, I'm not sure. I'm not in any Facebook groups that might facilitate that, at least not at the moment. I was going to sell this TED, but I really do like gag reels and stuff on comedies. So whenever I feel like watching this again, I really didn't like the second one. I like this one. This was fun. So I'll hold on to this one for the extras. So I really like comedy extras. So this one is just a why ever hold on to it? It's Boyhood, because I have the Criterion, and there's no extras on it. So it was literally just holding on to it because of the cover, because it's the poster. And yet I have the poster physically with this artwork signed by the director, so I really don't need this. Angry Birds, the movie. Again, I might have to pay someone to take that off my hands. Knucklehead. Like, I got this because it was cheap, like years ago on one of the I think it was on Silvervision. Silvervision, good old Silvervision. Rest in peace. The company in the UK that released WWE wrestling DVDs and Blu-rays. I got this, and I don't think I could ever watch it. I did watch the John Cena film, Legendary, I think it's called. It was a good little film, actually, but I just can't see this being good. And I almost kept it in my collection for so long just to kind of challenge myself to watch it one day, but I just don't think I can stomach it. I'm sure it's not terrible, but I'm sure it's not good either. Fast and the Furious 6, like I said, I'll probably want to try and get some kind of box set in the future that has all of them or something. I don't know. There's been so many re-releases of these films, so it's just, I don't know, that one's going for sure. We have The Last Stand, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I might just keep this because I like Arnold a lot, and I like to own his films. So I think I'll hold on to this one, but it's not a favorite. And I like having collections of like certain actors. Excuse me. So yeah, I'll hold on to that one, I think. Have you got a lot of movies you own and won't ever get around to watching? I mean, that's what this series is, Conquering My Collection. I only just recently passed the 1,000 mark. That's including short films and documentaries, but feature films, I have about 780 odd films I haven't seen in my collection. It's the perils of collecting for, over a decade, and especially when there are cheap stuff, there's sales and things, and it is what it is. I'm trying to conquer the collection. What can I say? The Elephant Man, nice addition, but I do have the 4K now, which is kind of a not nice. It's a really awkward box set, but I have the 4K now, so I'll be moving this one on. As much as I love David Lynch, that one will be going. I have some Criterions and BFI here. I might save them till the end because they're kind of more interesting to people watching this. So I'll kind of move that big stack of boutique label stuff to the side. I don't understand how these get dust on them when they're inside the middle of stacks, The Nice Guys. So actually, might be a few of these. Yeah, I'll hold this off for a second. There's another reason. I'll talk about that in a second. We're nearing the end now, guys. Just so you understand, we're in the go home stretch. Transformers: Dark of the Moon. I saw this in the cinema when it came out. I like the Transformers movies, kinda. I just like this film because Dark of the Moon. So there's a moment in the film where I think it's I forget the guy's name. Ken Jeong, I think maybe. Does it say on the back here? I forgot Francis McDormand was in this. John Turturro. I could have sworn it was Ken. Anyway, but there's a character in the film who's like something like I even forget what the line is, but he basically references Pink Floyd and Dark Side of the Moon. It's like it's Operation Floyd is in Pink, or something like that, or Operation Moon is in Dark Side of the Moon, something like that. And I just popped because it was a Pink Floyd reference, and that's mainly why I bought the Blu-ray. But for a pound, it was a Poundland title, but I'm never gonna, never gonna watch that again. Well, I might do, but it'll be on streaming, so it's one of those things. Into the Woods, I liked this. I did like this, and for a pound, I couldn't quite say no, but I'm sure it's probably on Disney Plus. Yeah, no, I'm fine not owning a film that stars James Corden. I love this film so much. It is The Breakfast Club. I might have to do a scan and check out the extras if they. So I'll put this in the maybe pile because I want to get the Criterion at some point. That's a must own for me, but I don't know whether there are any extras on this that aren't present on the Criterion, so I'll have to research that one. All right, final stack. This one, I don't know if there's even a market for me to sell this because it's such a weird title. And I really like the Steelbook for the most part, but it is a double pack Steelbook of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and it is the French version, so it's The Dark Knight, Le Chevalier Noir. It's a nice silver, Nolan Trilogy Batman logo. The back is a printed back. But I just don't need it, I really don't need it. So maybe there's someone out there who might be interested in that one. And there was a lot of double dipping with that Dark Knight trilogy. Okay, I'll hold that one to the side too. This one's definitely going. It is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I have the 4K version of this one now, so that one can go. I have two versions of this. I think they're both different. Yeah, so one of them has the 3D. We have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Two different versions. I'm unsure about what to do with these because I recently rewatched both of not not both of these. I watched the 2 Andrew Garfield films like before No Way Home came out, and I like them a lot more than I had before. I still don't love them, but they're pretty good. And part of me wants to hold on to the 3D just because like 3D Blu-rays are kind of a curiosity now that don't exist anymore for the most part. Well, maybe they still do. Maybe they still do 3D Blu-rays, but they don't produce 3D TVs anymore. So the only way I can watch a 3D Blu-ray now is through the PSVR headset, which is kind of cumbersome. Well, this is a really nice slipcover, this one. So I put this on the pile to sell, but I like this film a lot more now. I really enjoyed it more on the second watch, so I will be keeping that. And I'll decide what to do with the 2 different versions. This one's always been a tough sell. I've always wanted to sell it, even though it's a nice little edition. It's the American release of the Avengers with the slipcover. Like everything you can see is pretty much embossed down to like the lips of all these characters. So it's a nice slipcover. But it doesn't have the Blu-ray. What it does have is the DVD. Just the DVD. But the DVD does contain the audio commentary from Joss Whedon, which was not included on the UK Blu-ray, which is why I got the American Blu-ray to begin with. But I kind of Frankenstein my own version where I got the 3-disc Steelbook and included the UK Blu-ray to have both versions of the film, because the UK version was called Avengers Assemble. But yeah, this one, I know it might just stay in my collection forever because no one's going to want to buy a Blu-ray case with a DVD inside of it. But it does have the audio commentary, which doesn't exist on the UK edition. So who knows? That'll be on the maybe pile. I don't know what the fuck to do else with the pile. Scream 4, really like this film, but I'd like to get a box set. And yeah, the new film came out, and I was like, oh, I'll get like the Scream 1 through 5 box set when that comes out. And now they're doing a 6th one, so it just keeps perpetually extends these franchises. Not a movie I'd normally buy, but I have everything else by Arnold too. So except for a copy of Terminator 2. Well, you should get on Terminator 2. Like, it's worth owning, even if the releases aren't perfect. The Muppets Steelbook. This is a gorgeous Steelbook. I just don't love the film enough to keep it. I don't think. It's just such a nice, colorful. I love the design of it, but I just don't. I don't think it's worth holding on to. We have The Girl on the Train. We watched this during 24-hour movie marathon 9 or 10, and it was good, but I didn't love it, and I don't think I'll be revisiting it anytime soon. So that one will go on the sale pile. After Earth. I'm 100% holding on to this one. I initially pulled it out like, oh yeah, definitely, but no, I like this. It's not a good film, but I liked it. I just love sci-fi, and it's not terrible. You know, I thought there's some good parts of that film. Roger Rabbit, going to get the 4K at some point, so that one's going. At least I can see there's a big pile of like definitely selling. That's progress. That one I'll put to the side. That one I'll put to the side. That one I'll put to the side. Okay. 30 minutes or less. Watched it in the cinema. Liked it a lot. Haven't seen it since. It has all those like funny outtakes though, so I'll give this one another shot at some point, but I'll probably sell it once I've seen it, I think. This one I really considered heavily selling. It's Deadpool. I'm just not a big Deadpool guy. I don't know what it was. Some of it's funny, most of it's really forced. But I think the reason I'll keep this, even though it wasn't a gift, my dad bought me this on DVD for Christmas that year, and he said, I think this is a film that everyone should own, and it was Deadpool. And I opened it, and it was like when Bart opens the putting golf challenge game for Christmas. His Marge is like, well, I asked the guy at the store to see what every kid wanted for Christmas this year, and he's like, oh, you got me? Oh yeah, thanks, Mom. So I just thought, okay, I'll get the Blu-ray at some point, as a way to kind of upgrade the present that my dad already got me. So I will hold on to this one. And I do, to be fair, I do like this one more than the sequel, which I'm definitely in no rush to pick up. But I did consider that one for a little bit there. This one's purely just which one do I keep. I have 2 steelbooks of the Hunger Games, and I don't know which one to hold on to. One is the Canadian version. One is the UK version. I love the look of this one. It's like it just fills up the front a lot more. But then the problem is I need to pull out my region-free player to watch it, so it's a bit of a crapshoot on that one. But also, let me just dig this out. I'm really getting mixed up here. But I also have the Steelbook of Catching Fire, and I'm considering selling this one too. Now, the issue I have is that I'd love to own all 4 of these films in similar steelbooks, and they did all get similar releases with like the black front and then like the different logo, which is cool. But as you can see, and this is really like unusual, but you can actually see this one says The Hunger Games, and this one says The Hunger Games Catching Fire. So what they've actually done with these 2 releases is that they put the title of the movie on the spine, which you rarely see. You know, it's like a really unique feature that the title of the movie is on the spine. Can you sense my sarcasm yet? I believe it was Mockingjay Part 1 had a steelbook that matched these, and it had no title on the spine. Nothing. It was just black. No studio logo, nothing. Just black. And that fucking rubbed me the wrong way. So it was so lazy. And I just couldn't believe that they were going to the effort of producing a steelbook, making the artwork match all the other 2, but not putting the title on the spine. So I've kind of just been like waiting for some way to, you know, collect these films in a way that's nice to look at on the shelf. And I still haven't found it yet. But I've seen that there's like a 4K Steelbook box set that just came out that looks gorgeous, but is way out of my price range at the moment. So I don't know what the fuck to do with those. Yeah, I like the Canadian Hunger Games, but yeah, I could switch the discs. So but then I would have to sell the other one to someone. I don't know, and I'm unsure about that. It's tricky. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of films you like to get, but they keep just making new ones, so you'll never own the box set. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, where are we going next? Okay, this one would be hard to let go of because I really like the artwork on this one. It's the Princess Bride Steelbook. I think it was on the back. Oh, that's fun. That's a fun little image there of those guys. But I do want to get the Criterion version of this. I would just have to check that it has all the special features. I actually think it probably doesn't because this one is fucking loaded with special features. This is the anniversary edition, so this one might need to be held onto to get all the extras, but definitely want to get the Criterion version eventually. I got this in an 88 Films sale. I just needed something to get me over the threshold to get the discount. And I was like, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Like I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm gonna push myself to watch it. And it's Cuba, Sean Connery. You might have seen this recently if you watch all my updates. I can't see myself ever watching it, you know, so it'll be sold. It does have a black case though. So I might steal that before I sell it. I don't know. Oh, see, this is similar to Eternal Sunshine. I love this film and I love the artwork on this, but I don't need it because I have the Criterion already. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I just love the artwork. You know what I mean? And it's like this is like one of the like one of the what do you call it? Poster. It's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning here. I'm really starting to lag like mentally, so apologies. But the Criterion one is like it's kind of like a classical kind of design that isn't really from the movie, kind of thing. It's like its own artwork. So part of me wants to keep it just because it has the actual characters on the front, and I love this film so much. Whereas this one, I would definitely get rid of because it's, you know, the artwork doesn't sway me one way or the other. It's the Grand Budapest Hotel, which I now have the Criterion of. And again, I might have to check the extras, even though these are very, very weak extras on this. This was a really disappointing release in terms of extras. So that's definitely a maybe. The Hobbits: An Unexpected Journey digibook. I have the extended collector's edition box sets. So do I really need this one? Well, if I want to see the theatrical version, maybe, you know. And I know with like the big 4K box sets they've done, which I'm unsure of because they've done like that bullshit artificially intelligent like sharpening of the movies. They've upscaled them to 4K, which is like a bit sketchy in my opinion. But they do have the theatrical versions of all the films. But this, you know, I really like this film. This is my favorite of the three, I think. I remember at the time I thought the third one was my favorite because I love the Battle of the Five Armies. But I do think I always love the beginnings of these journeys rather than the middle or the end. And this is kind of a nice. It reminds me of when I really loved this film and I went to see it with my brother. I took him along to see this, so I'll probably end up holding on to that one, I suppose. And that becomes the thing. Like, am I selling this just to make some money, or to free up my collection from things that I don't really want to have? And maybe it's just because I already have the same film, just wanting to keep it is good enough. This is one where I don't need it, I guess, because I have the 3D collector's edition. It's the Force Awakens, the villain version with the Kylo Ren lightsaber on the spine. But I could never get rid of this one because this was given to me as a gift by a fellow YouTube friend who kindly sent this to me, and I think that gesture is really nice. So I would never sell it, and it has the theatrical poster on it as well. So that's kind of a cool thing. So I will be keeping that one. And again, I wanted to show you some things where I don't necessarily need to keep it, but there are other reasons for me keeping them. This one I'm fairly fine with letting go of. I haven't opened it yet, but it's the Ghost in the Shell Steelbook. Phenomenal film, absolute classic anime, but there's a 4K version out, I think, so I'm intrigued to check that out at some point, but I'm in no rush to get into this film, so I think I'll be fine to say goodbye to that Steelbook. Unless I check out the reviews and maybe the 4K transfer is terrible, in which case I'll keep that one. Right, so we have a number of Norwegian releases. So we have La La Land. We have Moonlight. Hail Caesar. Actually, this one, I'll come back to that. Hunt for the Wilder People and The Nice Guys. These are all 2016 films. So I bought these dirt cheap in Norway, but the problem is they don't have extras and they don't have English subtitles. So there are better versions of these out there, and I like having the subtitles on the films. It's one of those things. It's a whole topic for another time. So I want to get these films with subtitles and with special features. But then it's like, you know, do I specify when I sell these don't have English subtitles and they don't have special features? And if then, will anyone want to buy them anyway? I do not know, but I will certainly try. But the one I'll hold on to is Hunt for the Wilder People, because I looked it up, and the UK version of this is like out of print and quite expensive. So for now, I'm going to hold on to it because I absolutely love this film. But there's like a commentary for this, which I'd love to hear, but it's not on this Blu-ray. It's really weird that they pressed their own discs, but they didn't keep any of the special features. It's very, very strange. Anyway, so that one is on the maybe pile for when I can find out. And then Hail Caesar does have the special features, so I don't know what's up with that. But I really like this film. This is actually a really good film. I'm going to hold on to this one for now. I don't see any reason it's got the special features, so there's no real reason to sell it. Was only like, actually there's more. There is more. Okay, we're almost done. I'm not sure if, yeah, okay, so I have the Karate Kid trilogy. I was going to sell this, but I love the artwork. I really love the artwork on this. But I have the trilogy box set, but they don't come with, I don't think they come with regular Blu-rays. Maybe they do, and I just don't know. I'd have to check that. I'll check and see if they have the regular Blu-rays. If they don't, I'll hold on to this because I like putting these films on when I go to sleep sometimes. So that's something to throw on in the bedroom where I don't have the 4K player. So for that alone, I'll probably hold on to that one. But it was definitely under consideration. The Suicide Squad, or Suicide Squad, excuse me. Forget the. Just Suicide Squad. I've never seen the extended cut. I don't know when I'd ever want to. I really like this. I like this film. I hated Jared Leto's Joker, but I really liked everything else about it. People shat all over it. Didn't quite see why. But this one is just, it's just sitting in my collection, just doing nothing. You know? So that's a maybe on that one. I'm not sure. Because again, I'm sure I could find it on streaming if I really wanted to watch it. This one's tricky as fuck. This is The Counselor. There's probably been about 4 or 5 films in the past 20 years that I've just had to stop watching because it just wasn't good. We got 20 minutes into this and just had to turn it off because it was terrible. Me and Connie just didn't understand what was going on. The dialogue was just all just strange and it was just odd, and we turned it off. So the Ridley Scott film, The Counselor, great cast: Michael Fassbender, Penelope Cruz, Cameron Diaz, Javier Bardem, Brad Pitt, and this is written by Cormac McCarthy. This has both versions. It has the Ridley Scott version and the original cinema version. So I'm keeping this just because I hate myself and I want to try and get through this just to say that I have. So I really should sell this, but I need to conquer it somehow. Next we have a big one: Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Yeah. This is the complete, quote unquote, complete collection, all 5 seasons. Obviously, they have continued this on Disney Plus, and that's part of what bothers me, that you can't get the Disney Plus stuff on Blu-ray anymore. Not anymore, but in general. But I'm really unsure about this because there's lots of extras on them. There's a lot of extras, and that's something that I think maybe has quite a bit of value in it. But the longer I have these, the more I realize that I can't see when I'd ever watch these. I know people say the Clone Wars is great. It keeps getting said, and I'm sure they are very good, but I've just never been able to properly get into them. Not that I've even given it a proper shot. So I haven't done that yet. So this is a maybe for me, and I think that I'm just unsure. Is it just the Star Wars fanboy in me that's kind of holding on to it and just needlessly not hoarding it, but just holding it in my collection for no reason, Yeah, the subtitles in general on Blu-ray seem fairly decent. So lastly, at the very end here, I have a bunch of Criterions and BFI titles that I'm considering. This one, the complete Jean Vigo collection, the main film, La Atalante. It's I don't know how to pronounce it, I really don't, but it was the main draw for me. It was this main feature film by Jean Vigo. And it was disappointing to me. And I watched all the films in this collection and I thought, I don't think I need to see those again. But I just have never got around to selling it. And now that I haven't, I'm finding that I'm quite intrigued to watch these again. So I'm glad that I didn't do the knee-jerk thing and sell them straight away. So that one will be staying in my collection. The other 4, actually it should be 5. Kez should be in this, but I have 4 Criterions here. We have House, we have M by Fritz Lang, we have Harakiri by Masaki Kobayashi, and then we have another Masaki Kobayashi, Kaiden. So these are all in my Eureka Masters of Cinema collection. So I already own all of these films. But I'm sure that there are extras on these discs that aren't on the MOC releases. So I might just rip these and just take the extras that aren't included on the Eureka releases, and then sell these to people who might enjoy them. I think M was a title that, for one point in time, had a problem with disc rot. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Maybe it will be brown. No, it looks okay. Okay. I would check it before selling it, obviously, but Conversation with Fritz Lang, a 50-minute film by William Friedkin. I'm sure that's not on the Eureka release. So it's just a case of, do I need these ones in my collection? So it's the Vigo French box set has nicer restorations. Interesting. Okay. And you can never sell House. So why is that? Why would you say? Do you just love the film that much that you would want to hold on to them? Now this one, I don't know like the full ins and outs of this, but I have Tokyo Story and Tokyo Story. So this is a new restoration, remastered in 4K, and has a new introduction by Tony Raines. The only extra on this original Blu-ray of Tokyo Story is the film Brothers and Sisters of the Toda Family, which is also included here, and I'm not sure if it's included in high definition or not. Either way, this one is loaded with special features. This one is not. I'm not sure about a booklet. Yeah, it does have a booklet. But then part of me is thinking like, well, it's nice to have two different transfers. You know, I'd have to look into this one and fully decide on that at a later date. And there's a few more to go. 4 more to go, in fact. We have The Age of Gold, Louis Buñuel. And this also includes Un Chien Andalou. I just really didn't like these films. Especially Age of Gold. I'll come back to that at the end, because there's a reason for that. Now, next one I have is Vada by Añez. So I have the Criterion box set, the complete films of Añez Vada, which includes this. So surely I wouldn't need to hold on to this, right? Well, actually, this has a very cool special feature. It has an 83-minute stage presentation that Añez gave on the 10th of July, 2018 at the BFI South Bank, called Añez Vada in Conversation. So they filmed this thing, and I missed it by 1 day and was gutted, and they put it on this Blu-ray. So that's why I'm going to hold on to this, to keep that kind of thing in physical form. That's a lengthy, like, hour-and-a-half lecture that she gave like the year before she died, or 2 years before she died. That has a real value to it that I want to keep on physical format, not just rip the disc and keep the special feature. And it was the 11th of July 2018 that I saw Añez in person. So yeah, so that's definitely one to hold on to for that reason alone. And a very good film, that Vada by Añez, her final film, her swan song. I will probably get rid of this, I think. This is Rashomon. I later got the Samurai box set from BFI, which I'm not sure if it includes that. I need to check, actually. It might actually not have Rashomon. Let's see. I can't find it. What the fuck? Oh, no, it is there. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, holy shit. I assumed that it was on that box set, but it isn't, in fact. So I keep it. but then again, I would have to check, because I have the Criterion of this as well. But I think there's something on here that isn't on the Criterion, which is the reason I bought it to begin with. This is like £6. So it might be another one I end up keeping because of the extras. This feels like I've gotten nowhere, but there is a stack of about 80 things I'm selling, I think. So that's some progress. And then this one I know is included in the Criterion box set, the Ingmar Bergman set, the Magic Flute. So I would have to check, double check, triple check. Oh no, that's the reason I'm keeping it. Okay. So there is an 11-minute film from 1935 called Papageno. which is a film by Lotte Reiniger, who it's an animated film, and she's an incredible animation director who made some incredible stuff in like the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. It's from 1935. So the special, that's what I love about BFI, is that they usually include like films as extras, like from their archives and stuff. So that's the reason for me to keep hold of this one, I think. And we'll come back around to the end here with Age of Gold. So there might be films that I don't really like, right? So what Age of Gold was, what, 1930? But there's a historical value to it. And sometimes I enjoy owning pieces of film history, even if I don't love them, you know? And especially in the case of Un Chien Andalou, which is like a very famous silent film, you know, the abstract visuals, Dali, and all that kind of stuff, which is maybe more prevalent in Age of Gold, which is a longer film, I suppose, which is, you know, maybe a bit more out there, perhaps. But then again, I think in Un Chien Andalou, there's like, it's a lot more concentrated in like the 15, 16 minutes that the runtime's for. So for me, I'm going to hold on to this one, not because I enjoy the films very much, but because they are, you know, notable pieces of film history. Now, if this was like something that came out today, it would be different. But these are films that are almost 100 years old, you know. And for the most part, my collection is films that I like and films that I love, as most people would say. You know, like that's why you buy films, because you like them. Although I buy films because I think I might like them, and there's many blind buys that have filled up my entire collection. But you know, the point is, the end goal should be that you fill your collection up with stuff that you enjoy. And I certainly wouldn't fill my collection up with stuff that I don't enjoy, but that has historical value, because it's not like I have an important historical film library. But you know, there are certain things that I think are worth owning as a film fan, and it's not that I hate them. It's not that I'd never want to watch them again, like say Salo, which to me is just a disgusting film. Not that I can't handle that kind of stuff. I just don't enjoy it, and I thought that it was a bad film in general, so I wouldn't want to own it anyway. But my mind may change on these ones, and even so, um, it's just it's interesting. Um, yeah, so owning something, but you know, it's a historical document in a way. You know, it's and I always find much older films on Blu-ray to be really, it feels like there's a real significance to it, you know, and it is historical, you know, it's way what far beyond our lifespans, going back into the early days of cinema. So there's a few like that in my collection where I feel like it's worth holding on to and having in my collection, because I enjoy having little bits of film history. So yeah, and then finally, this one was pushed to the side at the end. This is just a spare copy I have of Victoria, the artificial eye release. This is one of the best films of the 2010s. Phenomenal film, highly recommended. Buy it from me. So there we go. That is it. That was Conquering My Collection live. That was, what did I title this one? I think it was Save or Sell. You know, so you've been through 2 hours of my madness, of my umming and ahhing and oh but this, oh but that. You know, that is the life of a collector, especially when you've collected too much and you need to start culling the collection, and then you're like, oh, I don't know this, I don't know that. I'm looking at the maybe pile and it's massive. I'm looking at the keep pile and it's massive. But luckily there are two to sell piles that are equally massive. So there we go. I don't know how many I've gone through here. Maybe if I do a quick count of one stack, I could kind of give an average. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Roughly 50 each. So I've gone through at least 200 things, like almost 200 Blu-rays, and given you a reasoning for most of them. Do all your Blu-rays have the silver Blu-ray logo? It's very frustrating in Australia that many don't have it. Oh, you mean like this? Like the silver, you get the effect there. Like that. Yeah, most have them, I think. Oh, I'm just trying to think like general. Yeah, that's something I never really thought about too much, really. But yeah, yeah, most of them do. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure with boutique. I mean, obviously, if you have the clear cases, they don't have them. Some might do. I don't know, but yeah. So there we go. Again, if anyone is interested in buying any of the ones that I said I was selling, then message me on Twitter. Otherwise, thank you for joining me on this very truncated ride of collector hell. Yeah, so we'll end it there, and I'll probably try and do. I say this, and I end up not doing it, but I might do a few of these live sessions, more to just do a few quick reviews to kind of crank them out, because it's becoming more and more time consuming for me to make videos, and so it might be a thing to kind of just hop on and do a quick live review of a few things, maybe, and maybe even turn it into a bit of a chat at the same time. Maybe just pop on and talk about a few films that I've seen recently, because I've watched a few films from my collection lately that I've really loved and would love to talk about. So yeah, I could have spent the last 2 hours just talking about films that I really liked, but instead it was all this inner turmoil of shit that I want to sell, but I don't know if I can. But anyway, thank you all for watching. If you've watched live, and if you've watched after the fact, I will see you in the next one.